The global economy faces a critical challenge, one that has been brewing for years and now threatens to reshape the landscape of international trade. This challenge is the trade war between the United States and China, two of the world's largest economies. These two economic giants are locked in a battle of tariffs and retaliatory measures, each side trying to outmaneuver the other. This conflict has far-reaching implications that extend well beyond their borders. It threatens global growth and stability, causing uncertainty in markets and among businesses worldwide. At the heart of the dispute lie concerns about unfair trade practices, which have been a point of contention for years. The U.S. accuses China of intellectual property theft and forced technology transfer, practices that they claim give China an unfair advantage. China, in turn, accuses the U.S. of protectionism and attempts to contain its rise as a global power, arguing that the U.S. is trying to stifle its economic growth. The trade war began in 2018 under the Trump administration, marking a significant shift in U.S. trade policy. It has escalated significantly since then, with both countries imposing a series of tariffs and counter-tariffs. Both sides have imposed tariffs on billions of dollars worth of goods, affecting a wide range of industries. This has disrupted supply chains and increased costs for businesses and consumers alike, leading to higher prices and economic uncertainty. The trade war is a symptom of deeper geopolitical tensions, reflecting a broader struggle for dominance on the world stage. The U.S. and China are vying for global influence, each seeking to assert its power and protect its interests. Their rivalry extends beyond trade to encompass technology, security, and ideology, making this conflict one of the most significant of our time. In 2018, President Trump signed Executive Order 14195, a significant move that would reshape the landscape of international trade. This order imposed tariffs on a wide range of Chinese imports, aiming to curb the influx of goods that the administration believed were undermining American industries.
The Trump administration argued that these tariffs were necessary to protect American jobs and intellectual property, which they claimed were being stolen by Chinese companies. They claimed China was engaging in unfair trade practices, including forced technology transfers and intellectual property theft.
The initial tariffs targeted Chinese steel and aluminum, industries that were seen as critical to national security and economic stability. They were followed by tariffs on a wide range of consumer goods, from everyday items to more specialized products. These included electronics, appliances, and clothing, affecting a broad spectrum of the market and touching the lives of many consumers. The tariffs were met with immediate retaliation from China, which imposed its own set of tariffs on American goods. The Trump administration's approach was confrontational, aiming to force China into a position where they would have to negotiate. It sought to pressure China into making concessions on trade practices and opening up their markets to more American goods. However, critics argued that the tariffs were counterproductive, leading to a trade war that hurt both economies. They claimed the tariffs harmed American businesses and consumers more than they helped, leading to increased costs and economic uncertainty. The tariffs on Chinese goods led to higher prices for American consumers, making everyday items more expensive. They also disrupted supply chains for American businesses, causing delays and increased costs in production. This hurt American manufacturing and agriculture, sectors that were already facing challenges from global competition and market fluctuations. China responded to the U.S. tariffs with retaliatory measures of its own. It imposed tariffs on a range of American goods, including soybeans, pork, and automobiles. These targeted sectors where the U.S. had a trade surplus with China. Beyond tariffs, China also employed non-tariff barriers. These included increased inspections of American goods and delays in issuing import licenses. These measures further disrupted trade flows and escalated tensions. China also sought to diversify its trading partners. It strengthened ties with countries like Brazil and Russia. This aimed to reduce its reliance on the American market. China's response demonstrated its willingness to engage in a protracted trade war. It showed the world that China would not back down from defending its interests. The trade war hit American agriculture particularly hard. China was a major market for American agricultural products. The tariffs imposed by China significantly reduced exports of soybeans, pork, and other agricultural commodities.
American farmers faced falling prices and lost markets. Many were forced to take on debt or sell their farms. The Trump administration provided billions of dollars in subsidies to farmers. However, these subsidies did little to offset the long-term damage caused by the trade war. The trade war highlighted the importance of the Chinese market for American agriculture. It also exposed the vulnerability of American farmers to retaliatory tariffs.
Section 5. The rise of Chinese tech titans. Despite the trade war and sanctions, China continued to make significant strides in technology. Chinese tech giants like Huawei and ZTE emerged as global leaders in 5G wireless technology and artificial intelligence. China invested heavily in research and development. It created a favorable environment for tech startups. This fostered innovation and propelled the growth of its tech sector. The trade war and sanctions did little to slow down China's technological progress. On the contrary, they may have fueled China's determination to achieve technological independence. Section 6. Europe caught in the crossfire. The trade war between the United States and China had significant implications for the global economy. The European Union, a major trading partner of both countries, found itself caught in the crossfire. The trade war disrupted global supply chains and created uncertainty in the global market. European businesses faced higher costs and reduced demand.
The EU also expressed concerns about the escalating tariffs and the potential for a global trade war. While sharing some of the United States' concerns about Chinese trade practices, the EU did not support Trump's confrontational approach. It advocated for dialogue and a rules-based trading system.
Section 7. A world on edge. The trade war between the United States and China generated anxiety worldwide. Countries feared the economic fallout from a protracted trade conflict between the world's two largest economies. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, warned that the trade war was harming global growth. It urged both sides to de-escalate tensions and find a negotiated solution. The trade war also highlighted the flaws in the global trading system, exposing the limitations of the World Trade Organization, or WTO, in resolving disputes between major powers. Section 8. The path to de-escalation. The trade war between the United States and China is a complex issue with no easy solutions. It has affected not only the economies of these two superpowers, but also the global market, creating ripples that have been felt worldwide. However, there are steps that both sides can take to de-escalate tensions and move towards a more stable and predictable trading relationship. This requires a multifaceted approach, addressing both immediate concerns and long-term strategies. The first step is to restart dialogue. Open and honest communication is the foundation of any successful negotiation. Both sides need to come to the negotiating table in good faith and with a willingness to compromise. This means setting aside political posturing and focusing on practical solutions that benefit both nations. They need to address each other's concerns and find common ground. This involves understanding the economic and political pressures each side faces and working towards mutually beneficial outcomes. Second, both sides need to roll back the tariffs that have been imposed. These tariffs have not only strained the relationship between the two countries, but have also had a significant impact on global supply chains. These tariffs are harmful to businesses and consumers on both sides of the Pacific. They lead to higher prices for goods, reduced availability of products, and increased uncertainty in the market. They are also counterproductive, as they have done little to address the underlying issues in the United States-China trade relationship. Instead, they have exacerbated economic tensions and created additional barriers to trade. Third, the United States and China need to work together to reform the World Trade Organization. The WTO plays a crucial role in facilitating international trade and resolving disputes. The WTO is the body that governs international trade, but it has been weakened in recent years by disagreements between its members. Strengthening the WTO would provide a more robust framework for addressing trade disputes and ensuring fair practices. A stronger WTO would be better equipped to handle disputes between major trading partners like the United States and China. By working together to support and reform the WTO, both countries can contribute to a more stable and predictable global trading system, benefiting not only themselves but the entire world. Section 9. Towards a more stable future. The trade war between the United States and China is a defining challenge of our time. It is a test of the global trading system and the rules-based order that has underpinned global prosperity for decades. The path to de-escalation will not be easy. It will require both sides to make difficult choices and to compromise. However, the alternative, a protracted trade war that damages the global economy and undermines the rules-based order, is simply unacceptable. The world is watching and waiting for the United States and China to show leadership. It is time for both sides to put aside their differences, to work together, and to build a more stable and prosperous future for all.